Cuts in WWE have become a regular occurrence. While we saw years of the company being unwilling to release talent in fear of them going to competition, it seems there is a fire sale inside WWE. Ever since the pandemic hit in early 2020, there have been a constant stream of wrestlers leaving. After another major round of cuts in April this year, WWE have done another talent purge. This one was not insignificant in any way, as some major names have been released by the company today. Ross Sapp of Fightful broke the story and revealed that Santana Garrett, Murphy, Riott, Lana, Aleister Black, and Braun Strowman will be on their way out of the company. Those are some big names, with Strowman being the massive surprise for many. Black was rumored to be leaving ever since October of 2020, but the rumors had significantly cooled down after his recent repackaging. Braun was wrestling a McMahon in a featured bout at WrestleMania a few months back. Lana was rumored to possibly win the Women's Royal Rumble, and others like Murphy and Riott have also been featured. Santana Garrett was a high potential women's wrestler that had proven her skills in Impact's knockout division. But what motivated these surprising cuts? This is Wrestling Up, and this is why WWE released these stars. Before we get into the rest of the video, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Up and turn on all notifications to stay up to date with everything in the world of pro wrestling. First things first, it cannot simply be about money. WWE is coming off a year where they had historic profits and have had major cash influxes like the Peacock streaming deal as well. Despite the free-falling ratings, the company has been doing well in terms of money. These releases may be motivated by money, but cannot be the sole reason. The continuous purge of women's talent from WWE is reaching baffling levels. SmackDown has only 7 active women's wrestlers left on their roster after these releases. Lana wasn't the best worker, but was still a highly relevant name in the division. Ruby Riott has fallen off since her Riott Squad was broken up and injuries halted her rise, but she was far from a used-up talent with nothing to provide. Garrett's release seems like the most typical, as we've seen them give up on high-potential wrestlers in NXT before, like Abby Layth or Kimberly. The 3 men that joined them have been mid-card to main event players the last few years. Murphy exploded as a cruiserweight star and was linked up with Seth Rollins to have some Stardust rub off on him. However, Murphy even had a compelling rivalry with Aleister Black not too long ago. He lost a lot of his momentum after the Rey Mysterio feud, as Murphy was treated as the most expendable person involved. The failed relationship gimmick with Aaliyah did not work either. Black was allegedly trying to get released earlier this year in late 2020. However, it seemed that he and WWE had come to some agreement about his creative direction, with his recent re-debut and repackaging. The former NXT champion was touted to be a world title caliber wrestler when he was called up, but years of creative mismanagement have taken their toll and resulted in a release of the Dutchman. Braun Strowman has been held by many as the typical example of a WWE wrestler. He is completely brought up in the WWE system and has never wrestled outside the promotion. He was pushed into superstardom almost instantly, and he has been a regular main event fixture. Strowman main evented day 1 of WrestleMania last year and became Universal Champion over Goldberg. He has been linked to many world title feuds recently. Strowman was a WWE guy through and through, one of the few examples of superstars that have been completely built by the company. His release is befuddling, as it was never discussed or even thought about. This release is the hardest to unpack. Riott, Lana, Black, and Murphy could have just been released because WWE can't figure out a fit for them in their programming. Obviously, there is still some backstage force in play that we are not aware of, but these 4 releases can be justified like that. Same with Garrett, as that toes the line of the regular releases that WWE is capable of doing. But Strowman is a unique case. Braun was always known as a Vince McMahon guy. Could his release be indicative of a slow power shift within the company? It can't be his talent, as Strowman has freakish strength that itself is a draw. Along with that, he has a somewhat compelling moveset for a big man. He is a physical specimen and the kind of wrestler that WWE always loves to have. With the likes of Big Show also being gone, there isn't that one physical freak that fans may want to tune into. It isn't like Brock Lesnar's around either. This could indicate a shift in programming and roster shaping as well. The WWE roster has gone from being bloated in recent years to very thin. Releasing someone like Braun can't be a decision based on wrestling, considering he had the most unique style and look. Black had an interesting character arc with great skills, but plenty of wrestlers that move up had previously been moved by the company as well. Most of them are probably just surplus to requirements. The thinning of the roster could be a good thing, as WWE could focus more on certain story building. However, the distinct lack of main event stars without a new generation being ready to step in is very worrying. The women's roster in particular looks even more bare bones now. These releases will likely haunt WWE in retrospect, but those not required at the moment have paid for it by losing their jobs. And this is why these WWE stars were released. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later.